Morality is contraband in war, as quoted by Gandhi, and it showcases how morality as humans is constantly changed by war. The act of warfare and killing humans has been part of mankind's existence since the invention of the gun itself. As time moved forward and new discoveries were made, the variety and caliber of these weapons began to develop. With each passing decade and through world wars, firearms were being more and more lethal. Scientists were being hired to invent and produce weaponry that would kill a man in his tracks, while being more lightweight and more mechanically sound. But in order to do this, they had to do many tests, some of which utilized cadavers, or dead human parts, in these top-secret ballistic experiments. Mary Roach, in Chapter 6 of her book Stiff, she sheds some great light, if you will, on the usage of human bodies for firearm research. And she questions the reader on the morality and caliber of the situation. Now, there's definitely a conflict of interest when it comes to the usage of cadavers and dead bodies in general. Although the concept of using dead bodies and dead human parts to conduct an experiment may seem gruesome, they're actually used for very strong reasons, and the technology that we have now, it wouldn't be what it is in many cases if it had not been for cadavers. Additionally, cadavers allow researchers to see exactly what happens to human flesh when it's impacted by something. And it helps benefit warfare and medical knowledge everywhere. It's universal.
Okay, let me get this data streaming. Good. High speed's up. 1 round in the head on your go. Nice! I'd say that's a hit.
Well done, brother. Hey, guys, take a look. Entry wound just under the nose, but it goes upward right into what we call is the cribriform plate. That's what we as doctors use to get into the brain. But then take a look at this exit wound. It's massive. If there's gray matter or white matter, what we say is it doesn't matter. One of the things that is really important as a sniper is the ability to call your shot. So where did you actually call your shot?
I said I was going to put the round right underneath his nose and I was going to exit at the back of his head.
Perfect. The SR-25 surgically put a round exactly where you want it to go on the battlefield. I was surprised on just how effectively that round delivered that kinetic energy into that target. And you see devastating results.
Tim, very impressive from you and the weapon, but we still have the PSL to test.
They don't have a chance.
Charles, are you ready?
Ready.
1 round in the head on your go.
Nice. Well done. Is this an instant kill? The eyes have it. I mean, he basically hit directly into the eye. If the bullet goes here, the eye will actually pop out. In that increased pressure, this stretched out tremendously. That's why you see the tears in the ballistics gel. When they say 1 shot, 1 kill, this is what they're talking about. You want that round to penetrate and blow up that target as much as possible. That's why they rely on these kind of rounds as sniper rounds.
So let's start with the biologics. A large breath in, slow breath out, and then you hold it, and then you squeeze that round off right in the middle of a held breath. This here is the EMG of your shoulder. It never really changes, which tells me that you're getting a lot of bone-on-bone support there. Okay, Charles, where Tim was using a big breath in and then slowly exhaling, you kind of take a deep breath out and then inhale to about halfway and then hold it from there.
Another thing we see here actually with your heart rate and your respiratory rate, we're seeing that it doesn't change.
That for me is the ultimate test of a true expert. It doesn't matter when the moment happens.
And what I really appreciate here is the fact that we actually got this data off these guys, real operators, real trained snipers, and honestly, I think we could use this data to actually train guys.
After watching the experiment that just took place, you may be completely inspired and want to pursue what you saw as a job, working on cadavers, trying to find an experiment or a cure or something like that. Or maybe you want to donate your cadaver for something like that. On the other hand, you may be completely disgusted by what you just saw and never donate your body to that or be a part of it. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, it's actually very important that we see the different perceptions that people can have about this issue, because that's the other side of this issue. The first side, the part we talked about earlier, is that ballistics testing is great in terms of it helps us find better medical research, and it helps us better prepare for war. But now we're going to talk about the other side of the issue, what people perceive individually and how it can change from person to person and why that's important. Now, to help prove my point, my next point about perception that I want to make to you, I have someone with me here, and I'm going to show you one of my best buds. This is my dog. This is Max. And what I want you to do is, I mean, all of you have thoughts about Max right now, but all of them are different. Some of you may think he's cute. Some of you may think he's ugly. Some of you may think he's fat. Some of you may think he's mean. All these are different perceptions, and all those perceptions are important. But my point is that all perceptions are different throughout every single person. So what are some of the different perceptions that people have about ballistics testings on cadavers and cadaveric experiments in general? Well, let's take a look at some of those. Relatives who donate their deceased loved ones' bodies to science, they perceive that their bodies are going to be used for a scientific purpose, to help others. But in reality, they can end up as targets for any number of ballistic experiments. And Roach, she notes one of these cadaveristic experiments who tested the durability of foots in landmine situations. She writes, "The bodies were posed in standard walking position, heel to the ground as though striding confidently to their doom." Research that uses dead bodies of human beings is ethically sticky, because most people who donate their bodies for research, they don't really know or picture what will really happen to them. Romantically, or in the perfect world, they think that a medical student will find a cure for a disease as a result of a careful, thoughtful dissection with every effort made to preserve the dignity of the corpse. They don't picture, however, being blown up or made the target of a bullet. In fact, mutilation is probably not even on their mind. It's a tough question to answer, but it boils down to this: that it all depends on the person, their beliefs, their morals, and their perception when it comes to this kind of testing on cadavers being morally okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed.